Good evening, everyone. Our topic of presentation is a starter's roadmap to navigating XM Cloud. So let us introduce ourselves. My name is Nikita Vashisht. I'm working as a technical lead in Extension Information Technology. I'm certified in XP version 9 and 10. I've also done my certification in XM Cloud and Sitecore CDP. I keep on contributing to the community. I have my own website also where I write technical blogs. Over to you, Shransh.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. I am currently working as a software professional at Extension. I am Sitecore 10 and XM Cloud certified. Okay, so the agenda for today's session would revolve the key topics that we've prepared. First, composable products, what they are, understanding XM Cloud, and overview of XM Cloud. Then the key features that have been introduced in XM Cloud, architecture, the terminologies that are being used in XM Cloud, reason why we should move to XM Cloud, and then by an insightful demo by Nikita towards the end of the session. So let's start with what is composable architecture. Uh, it's a modular flexible solution, we can say, wherein we will be able to choose product only which we need. Say I want only the CMS, I might go for XM Cloud. If I am looking for personalization options, I might go for CDP. If I'm looking for commerce solutions, I might go for Order Cloud. So it gives me the flexibility to choose which products I want. As a organization, I will have the flexibility to subscribe to products or to purchase license or whichever product is required. Sitecore has broadly divided this into three categories. If you see, one is the content cloud, wherein you can manage your content, your that will have XM Cloud, the content hub, and Sitecore search. Then you will have the engagement cloud, wherein you can user engagement that we have, wherein we can use CDP, personalize, and then the third vertical is the commerce cloud, which I mean, example you can see Sitecore Discover, Sitecore Order Cloud, in case you want to have e-commerce and all those features enabled on your website. So each product here has their own unique capabilities and they can interact with each other via APIs. So it will give me low cost of ownership. Let's say in case I do not want the engagement cloud or the commerce cloud, I will only have to pay for the XM cloud or the content hub. So that makes more flexible than our traditional XP instance. Then XM cloud. So XM cloud is, you can say it as a SaaS CMS. So one of the latest offering from Sitecore, you would not need to install any software or there would be no, you don't need to manage any software, and there's a clean separation between your front and your back end. So all this would be deployed on Sitecore Cloud and it gives you more flexibility, more features. So for marketers, it is more beneficial because it provides tool wherein they can create campaigns and they can release websites, web pages within drag and drop and click of a button. For developers, since it's a headless based approach and you would not need to spend more time on your DevOps and your infra capabilities, I think it would be very easy for developers to focus only for the features that are required. They can stick to their job of building their product, and in that way, the development will also be faster. So, key features that have been introduced in Sitecore. First is the headless architecture, which I told you. Backend is completely segregated from your front end. I mean, there's a clean separation between server side and client side. Your front end application would can be hosted on Vercel or Netlify or any other hosting platforms that you want, and all your content would be managed on XM Cloud. Then the second one is Experience Edge. So one of the key features that has been integrated with Sitecore XM Cloud is Experience Edge. So here we do not have any CD servers. All that you published, all that we publish is we publish on the XM Experience Edge. It's a CDN network. It's a CDN URL wherein you can query all the data from your CMS via GraphQL. You'll be exposed to an Experience Edge endpoint, and from via that endpoint you should be able to query everything via GraphQLs. Then front end as a service. So in in XM Cloud, they've introduced Canvas modules wherein you can drag and drop your components. You can apply styling on your components, and you will have the visual appeal on the experience editor. So it makes your development way more quicker than you assume. And they've introduced Sitecore pages, Sitecore component builders. So in that way, I think it is one step ahead of experience editor that we use in a normal XM and XP. Personalization, there are a lot of out of the box personalization rules available. You can create multiple variants of a component. And one more interesting feature is what Sitecore XM Cloud provides are the page insights. So you can track your user bounce rate, the time spent by the user, and all those things with XM Cloud Analytics. You only pay for the services that you need. I mean, that I've already discussed. No need to install any software or manage any software. And built-in DevOps, it comes with a deploy. It comes with a deploy feature wherein you can deploy all your code. You can create multiple environments like your QA, your UAT, your pre-prod and production environments. Click of a button, and all that can be monitored very smoothly. So this is a diagrammatic view of what I have just discovered. If you see, on the delivery front, we do not have CD servers. We have Experience Edge. On the composable add-ons, you can choose any of the product that is required. Uh, on your interfaces, I think there are 2-3 new interfaces that have been introduced by Sitecore in XM Cloud: the Sitecore Pages, Sitecore Explorer, and Sitecore Component Builder. We'll go through all these 3 new features in the demo that Nikita will provide towards the end of the session. Then the developer tools. So let's go one by one. The deploy app, it will help you deploy your code, the build and deployment services. The GraphQL, it will be used to render data from Experience Edge. The REST APIs and the webhooks, in case you want to do any customizations or in case you want to do any custom actions in case of any event call. And then it comes with the JS and the Next.js SDK, the starter packs. It will help you set up your projects very easily. Then you can host your the hosting services on your Vercel and Netlify. That will be, let's say, for example, in our typical CD servers, everything was tightly coupled. We used to publish everything on CD servers, and then every of our view files and everything used to be rendered from your CD servers. But here, there's a complete new service wherein your request will be coming to Vercel or Netlify, and that will request the content from Experience Edge via GraphQL queries, and a cloud portal to manage all of this. This diagram shall give you an overview of how the build works and the overall architecture of XM Cloud. On the left hand side, if you see on the image, we can see there's a developer. He checks in his code into his repository, and then the build and deployment services are used. They'll, in case you have any C# or your .NET code or your middlewares or your APIs, that will get deployed on your XM Cloud instance. In case you're a front end developer and you're making changes in your Next.js project or your React project, get deployed into your static site hosting. which might either be Vercel or Netlify. And whenever you publish anything on your XM Cloud instance, it will publish to your Edge delivery platform. And anything that you want to fetch from your, let's say, in my front end project, I want to get data of many products, many items. I can write GraphQL queries, and the Experience Edge endpoint would be exposed with the Edge API key, and I'll be able to fetch all the details from my Sitecore instance. So how it works is the request comes into your Vercel or Netlify or any other platform which you're using, and then they in turn they in turn write GraphQL queries uh, on the edge endpoint, which fetches the data from Sitecore. So I think a high level picture of how things work in XM Cloud. Nikita, you can continue from here.
Okay, thank you, Shransh. So let's talk about some terminologies that are commonly used in XM Cloud. So first is organization. Organization inside XM Cloud is a business unit that includes your team and site for products that we have subscribed for. So that everything by comes under an organization. Then project. A project typically groups different environments where we are working. So it groups our development, pre-prod, UAT, production. All the environments are being grouped in the project, and you can create a project through your deploy app and the CLIs. Environment is an entity that holds different set of configurations and the implementations that we are doing. Then site is a headless collection of your pages with your JSS rendering and components being added on your page. Then site collection is a parent item that groups a related site together depending on the business logic. Then Experience Edge works typically as a publishing target for XM Cloud where all content is being published. So let's talk about why to use XM Cloud. What are the benefits that we are getting from XM Cloud? So first is the infinite scalability. So with XM Cloud, we can easily handle increased traffic without its content being slowed down. Then it's always on. So with XM Cloud, it ensures that our sites are always available. We have a high uptime for our websites in XM Cloud. Then we have flexible pricing. So as Shransh mentioned, we have a subscription-based pricing model. So we only pay for what we are using in XM Cloud. Then interoperability. So we can easily integrate our system with other tools like Sitecore Connect, CDP, search, personalize, so we can have a better digital experience. Then speed to market. So with XM Cloud, we can easily deploy our changes. So our content is being delivered to the market faster. Then enterprise grade. So since it's based on a secure cloud platform, so basically it's designed to meet the high security compliance that an enterprise can have. So let's quickly move towards the demo. So over here, it's my cloud portal. So let's talk about some features that we can see over here. So on my top left hand side, I can see the sites. So over here, all the available sites are present in my XM Cloud, whatever I've created. This Play website is a demo site that XM Cloud provides a demo portal. When you actually install it on your local, you will not be able to see this Play website. Apart from that, I've created one X-Axis site. Then when you go to the tools option over here, you can see the launch pad. Over here, I have multiple build options available to us. So in XM Cloud, we have components, pages, and Explorer as a build option that are available. Then we have XM Cloud Forms, Analytics, all of these things. Then in settings, we have the language option. So whatever languages that we are having for to create our website, that is there. Then in our analytics identifier, we can create our identifier that will typically help us for analyzing our page or site insights. So when I go to the sites option, how you can create your website. So there's a button on my right hand side. You click on this. So we have two options. The first one is to create a collection, and the second one is to create a website. So collection will typically contain all your multiple sites that you want a specific collection to have. So you can create your own collection. You can give, say I give it as SUG Bangalore. I can click on create. It will create my collection. Just have to refresh it. Yeah, it has been created. Yeah. So now I over here I have my collection created. So I can create my website inside it. So I'll click on create site. So here we have the option of selecting a template. So by default, we have three options available to us. First is the empty. So in the empty template, we will not be having any basic structure, no partial page designs available to us. Only some basic components will be there to drag and drop. Then in basic, basic layout of structure will be provided that we can follow, or we can see the components that are being added on that. And then play template is something that is there in our portal. So I let's say basic template. So I can see on my right hand side what all this template includes. So in pages, I have two pages created, home and about. Then it tells us about the components. We have basic SXA components that are available to us. Then in integrations, we have personalized and analytics that is being integrated with this site. So once I've selected my template, I click onto the next step. I can give the name of my site. I'll give as SU Bangalore. Once you have given the name, you can select the languages in which you want the site to be in. So as of now, I want it in English only. I'll click on create site. So it will take 2 minutes to create the website. So till that time, I'll go to my XMC practice website that I've already created. So once you go to your website, here you can see the pages builder is being opened. So on my left hand side, I can see my content tree, all the items that are there, these are available. Then in my components, I have all the default collection that Sitecore XM Cloud provides for all the static components. We have dynamic components that are there. Then I can create my own collection. I'll show you later in this demo itself how you can create a collection in components. Then we have some out of the box default components that are available that you can easily drag and drop on any and create your components. Then over here, as you can see, we have the option to switch between the sites that we have. So I can select my other site as well. Then we will be having the languages in which it is available. So I can go to my French language site also. Then we have version option. We can create multiple version of a item. Then over here we have different devices in which we can view our page. So we have the mobile view, we have the tab view, and then we have the desktop view. Then over here we have the undo and the redo button. So if you have to change anything, so you can undo action that you have performed on any page, so that can be easily done by these buttons. Undo and redo can be done. Then we have a preview option also. So once your page is ready, or everything that you're creating, a component is ready, and you want to preview it before publishing it to the experience edge, so this option can be used, and it will show you how your page will look, or how your website will look when you publish it. So that can also be done. Then we have the publishing option over here. So let's go to the templates option. Over here we have the option of designing our page partial designs. So let's go to the partial designs first. Over here you can see I have created few partial designs already. So, what's the concept of partial design? So, supposedly, if we have some static components on our pages that are being used side by side across all your website, and you do not want to re add it again and again on the page level, so what you do is you create those static, or you create those components as your partial design, and then you stack it up on your page design so that you can easily create your pages using that specific template rather than adding the same redundant component again on the page level. So we know that our website will have a common header or footer. We can create it at once at the partial design level, and then our job is done. We do not need to recreate it or re-add it at the page level. So how you create it, you click on this option. You have the option to create a folder, and you can add the partial design in on inside that folder, or you can directly click on creating a partial design. So supposedly I'll give it as a name, header 1, and I'll create it. So as you can see, my page is being laid out. I can select the header option. I'll click on this. Over here on my left hand side, my component collection is being opened for me. I can drag and drop any component very easily. So supposedly if I want a rich text, I'll drag and drop this. So now here you can add your HTML code inside it. You can save it. So all of these things can be done. Or if you want to edit any existing partial design, that can also be done. So I've created one custom header. So if I want to edit this, that can also be done. So I can click on this, I can do my editing, and I can republish it, and all of these changes will be saved. Now when I'll go to the page designs, so in page design we basically stack up all our different partial designs that we have created. So how I want my page layout to look like, I'll stack up all my partial designs that I have created, and yeah, I can select that in my template design, and I can create pages on the basis of that. How you create it, simply you will click on create, and you can stack up all your partial designs. Then when you go to your data templates, over here you can set your page design, and you can select, or you can map your template with a specific page design that you have created. So when I'll go back to the editor, so supposedly if I want to insert a page, I'll click on this button, three dots. There's an option to create a sub page. I'll add a news listing page. Test one. So now over here, as I can see, my header and footer is being already there. If I want a static component to be there in all my pages, so that component I can add on my partial design level, and that can be added. So now if I want to add a component, I'll click on this plus icon. My components option or my collection will be available to me. So if I want to add, say, a promo card, I'll simply drag and drop my promo card. So since it's a dynamic component, I have to select a layout. I have to assign a data source to it. So I've already created one. I'll select my data source. I'll assign that data source to my component. So here my component will be available. So that's how easy the pages builder is. You can easily drag and drop your component. It's basically a Canva based mode where you can uh, what you see is what you get basically in this specific page builder. Now let's see how you can create your components. So when you go to the components option, there is an option to open your component builder. You click on this. Uh, I can try from the tools option also. Okay. So now once you go to your component builder, over here we have different options. So let's see all the tabs one by one. So in my components option, I have an option of creating again a collection that can have multiple components that are being added. Then in my styles option, I have the ability, or I can create different stylings. Basically, you can treat it as a global styling that you're creating. So we can define different fonts. Then we can add. So these are the default fonts that are already been present in my styling option. But if I want to add any other font, that can also be done. I can add different colors, graphics, even breakpoints can be added. So all of these things can be easily managed. So all your alignments, stylings, that can be easily set it up. So you do not need to write any explicit CSS to do that. You can plug in any fonts, colors, or typographies, decorations. All of these things can easily be plugged in your styling option, and that can be used while you are creating your components. So we have multiple options. So you can select, you can have different themes also that you can create. So by default we have three themes available, but if you want any other theme, so that can also be added. We have data sources. So when you are creating a component and you have to map your component with the specific data sources, all of them are available over here. Then publishing shows us the different workflows that we have, and while our component is ready and we have to like supposedly stage our components, so what all different workflows that a component go through while publishing, so that is being over here. Then we have settings. So in settings I have all the basic configuration related to my website. So once I'll go to my components, I can create a collection. So I'll add one collection as SUG site collection, and I'll save it. So I'll add a component inside the collection. So supposedly if I'm making a card component, I'll add this, I'll save this, and I'll click on to start editing it. So over here, once you click on it, you can see it's a grid based development platform. So you can over now we have an option to even increase the sizing, or if we want to decrease the sizing of a grid, that can also be done. So on my right hand side, you can see we have grid sizing option. So I'll click on this. I can increase the number of rows if I want a bigger grid. So that can also be easily configured. Then we have multiple other alignment options that we can specify for a specific grid. Then we have different modes in which we can view our component. So we have extra large, large. So all of these things can be used, and we can see once our component is being built, we can see it on different modes. So let's create one component. So I'll select large only. I'll select the area in which I want my component to come. So once I've selected my area, I'll click on add elements. So if I'm creating a card component, I'll select cards. I'll append it inside. Over here, I want a heading. I'll select a heading. Then I'll add a paragraph. Then I want the image field. And then I can have, say, a button. So now once all my component is being added, I can edit it. So cloud presentation. So So I feel this heading is a bit bigger for me, so I'll select the H3 heading. Welcome to the Excel session. I can select image over here. Once I'll click onto this component, on my right hand side I can select the image source. As of now it's empty, so I have two options. Either I can give a static uh, image, or I can map it with the data source. So as of now I'll change it and I'll select the image from my browser. So I'll open this. So once I've selected my image, I can do different styling also. Now in my like in my heading, so if I want the text to be centrally aligned, so all of these things can be easily managed. So for similarly for my other components also, all my alignments and CSS, all of these things can be managed. So over here I can change the alignment, and I have different paragraph stylings option available, so those can be configured easily. Even my button stylings can be changed, so I can change the text and I can add a link. So supposedly I'll add a static link, say https google.com. So, and if I want it to be open in a new tab, I'll select this toggle button. So all of these things can be easily configured. So once my component is ready, so what I can do is I can stage my component and I can publish it. So once I stage my component, it will be available on my page editor for me to easily drag and drop it on a specific page. So let's go to my page editor. I'll refresh it once. Over here, I'll create another page. Demo page. I'll click on this plus icon. Now when I'll scroll down, I can see my SUG site collection over here, and I can select my card component. So now it's available on my page. But now if I want this component to be reused onto my multiple pages, and I do not want to recreate the component again and again with different data, so what I can do is I can create my dynamic card and I can plug in with the data source, so that the same component can be easily added onto multiple pages. So how you do that? So I'll create another component. I'll go to my component builder. I'll go to my collection. Over here, I can add another component, say dynamic art. I'll save this. I'll click to start editing. Over here, I'll again select the area. I'll add the same elements. Just a second, I have to first add the card. Then I'll add my heading. Then I want a paragraph field. Then I will add my image field, and then in the end I'll add my button. So now once my structure is ready, I'll click onto each and every element. So now if I want to map my heading text to a data source, I'll click on the text option. Over here now I can see there are two options. Either I can give a static data to it or I can map it with some data source. So I'll click on the map option. So we'll be having the list of all the available data sources that we have. So I've already created a data source that is having four fields: heading, paragraph, a image field, and a general link field. So I'll select my card template. I'll click on next. Over here now I can see all the fields that I've created. I have one heading. So I'll map the single line text field with my heading that I've created. Then I'll select my paragraph. Now for similarly for this, the text I can map it with the content field. Then for the image, I have the image source. So rather than giving a static image source, I can map it with the src field of my image. Then for my button, I can give the text from my link text field and complete. And for my link, I can select the href field. So okay, so once you have mapped everything, how your component like if your component is ready, how you want the component to look like, you have mapped all the fields, you can stage it, publish this. Now when I go back to my editor, I'll add say another page. Page 1. I'll refresh it once so that the component is available for me to select it. So now over here, once I'll click on the plus icon, I have my dynamic card component. So now since we have mapped it with the data source, so it will ask me to assign a content item to it. So I'll expand my data folder. I have my promos. So I've created few cards with the same template that I've mapped my fields with. So I'll select say card data. I'll assign it. So now my component is available with the specific data source that I have selected and the data that is being present over there. So now I can plug in this component on multiple pages and use it with different data sources. Now let's talk about personalize. So in XM Cloud, we have a provision to personalize our components on a specific page. So we have an option of creating variants. So once you'll click on create variant, it will ask us to give a name. So supposedly if I want a component to be visible only for the Indian people or the people who are coming from India, so I can give a name, say Indian visitors, and I'll click on next. So over here I need to create my audience. Okay, so I can add conditions. So we have a lot of out of the box conditions that we get from XM Cloud, or if we want, we can create our custom conditions also. So I'll select one country condition. So I'll click on the plus icon. So if the visitor is in India during the current visit, and I'll save this. So now over here we have an additional feature that is being recently added, is the preview. So we can preview the audience that we are creating. So that is a new feature that XM Cloud has added. So now once your audience is created, you can save this, you can close this. So now as you can see, my variant is there. So now if I want to personalize, say, this component, I'll click on this option, this icon that is coming, and over on my right hand side I can either swap this component with another component. So I can give the content item part of the item with which I want to swap it with, or I can hide this component. So both of these things are available. So if I want for Indian user this component should not be visible, I can simply switch on this toggle option and this component will be hidden. So that's how you can create multiple variants. You can add it onto your page and you can personalize the experiences. Then we have the analyze tab. Over here in our analyze tab, we have two options, either to have a site insights or to have a page insights. So in site insights, since it's a new site, it will not have any data, but if I select, say, a play website that is being already present, so over here I can see the site insights. So we have the number of visitors, average time at specific sites, then the number of visits, then we can also have the bounce rate, and then we have a pictorial chart representations that are also given to us in various forms. Then we can select the timelines over or also from here. So we can have the data for last 1 hour to till 30 days. We can select, or we can see the insights. Then we have the other option also. So now this is the overall view of our website, how it is performing. So now we can also check the insights for our pages also. So once you'll click on page insights, we have the tree opened for us. So I can click on any specific page and I can check the insights for that. So supposedly I want to check the insights of this page, landing page with sent form. So I can click on this, I can check the data that is being available. Right now there is no data. So supposedly, and then another feature that we have over here is to compare our variants. So supposedly if we have added a personalization on one page and I want to see how my default page is performing versus the personalized page for my, say, I am running a campaign, so I want to compare, I'm doing my A/B testing. So if I want to compare two variants, so that can also be done. So I can select my other variant and I can see the insights for that also. So all of these things can be easily managed or can be easily captured in our analytics tab. I think pretty much it from my side. So over here I have my blog website link also, so you can go and check out the web, like the blogs that I've written on XM Cloud. That will give you more insights.